Alright, Ben Karsten. I'm really glad that Jonathan was talking about commuters or city sprawl, because that directly relates to what I'm about to talk about. Now, all of us are here to get a good job. You know, we're probably going to end up living out in the suburbs and commuting to work every day. So this is what we have to look forward to. This is a favorite picture of mine. Someone spray painted "Good Morning Lemmings" on the top of that. And this is what the majority of this is what it looks like pretty much. This is grossly inefficient, and just there's a number of things that are wrong with it. And so, you know, people say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's definitely not the case here. Alright, so what is the problem? The commuting experience itself. Dallas and Houston were ranked as the top 10 worst commutes in an article by Forbes.com in April. This is based on commuting length, the average commuting time, incidents, and things like that. And so, there's a lot more denser cities around the country. Houston and Dallas are very large cities, but you know, the top 10 worst, I think we can do better than that in Texas. From my personal experience, when I had a internship back home in Austin, there were some days going from the northeast side to the southwest side. It could take 45 minutes, or if it was raining, it could take up to like an hour and a half. So that's pretty ridiculous to have to do every day. Also, not just the personal experiences of the commuters, but this also has an effect on the environment. We all know about greenhouse gases and stuff, and that automobiles are a big contributor to that. But also, another big issue with all these vehicles on the road is the ozone. And an article titled "Proposed New Air Quality Standards for Ozone for Texas," as presented by the Citizens League for Environmental Action, it was stated that 8 of Texas counties failed federal ozone standards, and this involves like 8-day averages or stuff like that. And 17 additional counties were close to failing once the new environmental air quality law gets passed. So we're as far as pollution, we're in a pretty rough spot. So one possible solution to this is light rail and other commuter rail services. Now, light rail, if y'all are familiar with it, it's kind of a cross between a train and a trolley. It's not as heavy as trains, and it's not quite as light as trolleys. And these light rail cars, they're designed to run during peak traffic hours to reduce some of the strain on the infrastructure in the road. And they can be deployed over existing track, so that, you know, if a city is looking to reduce startup costs, they can use existing track. Or if they're looking for more, to reach different areas, or if they're looking for more electric only, then they can deploy the new track, which is a little more costly, but it also has its benefits. And that's according to All Systems Go Long Range Transit Plan by Capital Metro Rail. And then once these trains get you into the city, they have a network of many cities have networks of buses that then take you to your specific destination. So it's kind of a twofold plan. So what would this look like in Texas? Well, here's pictures of the light rail train that was scheduled to start running in Austin yesterday, but they had some safety delays, so I'm not sure when that's getting pushed back to. But it looks pretty snazzy. It's pretty clean looking over here. It's not typically what you think of when you think of like public transit. Yeah, it's not usually something you see as kind of a flashy deal. But what this would do for drivers, first of all, it would free them up. These trains actually have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi when you're on them, and it's, you know, the system takes care of it, so you have a constant connection. So you could be doing business proposals or whatnot while you're on the train. Also, in a recent article called "Cell Phones and Driving" by the Insurance Information Institute, they state that 19% of drivers admit to texting while driving. Now that's extremely dangerous, and you don't have that issue here. If you're texting while you're on the train, it's not really going to be a problem. This also increases the improves the overall commuter experience. A lot of these, like these trains specifically, these are diesel electric, and they can get going up to 75 miles an hour. You know, which if you might do that anyway, but you're going to be breaking the speed limit. Also, it's estimated by an article entitled "New Light Rail Starts: Project Ridership Accuracy and Impact on Congestion" by lightrailnow.org. That systems such as this, like in the Austin's case, it's estimated to take 6% of the cars off the road. So that's a pretty big improvement right there. So this looks good and all, but what do we need to get it more widely implemented in other cities and increase coverage in existing cities? Most of this is done through the Texas Department of Transportation. There's their address if you wanted to write to them. They also have various other contact methods like direct phone number, or if you would just prefer to kind of check it out first, there's their website at tx.gov. Also, there are various other advocacy groups for light rail and other commuter rails. One example is the 290 Passenger Rail Coalition, and they want a passenger rail that goes from College Station to Houston. So I know a lot of y'all are probably from Houston. That sounds like a pretty cool deal. You know, if you wanted to go home for the weekend, you stop on the train, you could do your homework, you pop out at the other end. There's nothing to worry about. And that's about it. Any questions? Yes.
Are they already thinking about doing this for Dallas? Is that what you said, or?
Dallas does have a light rail, and Dallas and Houston both have light rails. Part of the issue is also expansion, not just creating them, but making sure that they cover everything. Because if they don't go where you need them to go, people aren't going to use them.
Is it free public transportation? You have to pay for it?
It's not free. It's basically free. It's like $1.50 to ride it all the way downtown, and they have like 24-hour passes for like $3. So $3 round trip, you're going to spend more than that in gas if you drive.
Where does it run through in Austin?
In Austin, presently, the line that's opening pretty soon, it goes from Leander and it loops down to Howard, and then it kind of goes down. It follows Mopac down to downtown. And like total commute from Leander to downtown, which is the entire length, is like maybe 50 minutes, which it's going to be a lot more than that if you drive that even. And it's going to be close to that even if there's not traffic, like from that distance.
If a city doesn't have this, how do you implement paying for it?
Payment is one of the reasons that this is taking so long to get going in Austin. There are some, with the new stimulus package, there are some funds available through that to kind of get these alternative energy, alternative transport going. But these aren't always ideal for smaller cities because you do need a big enough tax base to create it. It has kind of a high startup cost, but over the course of time, it provides cheap and clean transportation.
Thank you.